Hello Cancer, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And there is the sun. Beautiful. Very strong, very vibrant, very confident. Good way to start. Let's put it into some context, though. There's some more stuff going on, right? It's not just all sunshine and roses. It never is. Oh, okay, we've got the Death card. Well, that's not quite what I meant, Spirit, but we'll take it. Big transformations. I think that you are... you're really coming into a confidence. I think that you're transforming, right? That's what this Death card's all about. We're being reborn. This is the sun, right? The sun is the sun being reborn. This is really good. This is very significant. And I think that this is, it's a very important reading for you. Very important reading. We're having a new perspective on what we're doing, right? Here's the Seven of Pentacles. This card's called failure, right? It sounds terrible. It's not, and I'll show you why as we go through. But let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. One random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We'll set here. We'll put Alien, Simon, Mork, Ripley right there on top of that now. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, all right? And it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need. Okay? If at any point during the reading you get an idea, a thought, a feeling of what that card is, I want you to leave your prediction in the comments below. All right? Let's tap into Spirit. Let's tap into Source. Let's discern this mystery card together as kind of a group exercise, right? I hope you'll play along. But first, let's take a look here. We have Major, Major, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is interesting because it kind of is, it's one card that reminds us that everything is a cycle, right? That there is death but rebirth, death and rebirth. There is coming and going. There is up and down, right? And I like that very much. Now, we don't have any fire cards. We have a little bit of water energy here. We do have quite a bit of air energy, which is, this is interesting. We're simplifying too. If you've noticed, we're going from 5 to 2 to an ace. Yeah. And we have our earth energy up top. Yeah, earth energy up top. So I like this very much. I think that you're in the middle of a very major change in your life. And we're going to take, well, we'll take the Sun card first. I think you're someone who is, you're moving into a much more confident energy, you know? I feel like you have faith in yourself. You believe in yourself. I think that you're starting to be encouraged by some of the successes that you're experiencing in your life. There are little things that are, I think, going to be happening more and more, especially with this Wheel of Fortune. It may be slow to start, but as it progresses, you're going to see that like everything that you touch just kind of turns to gold, right? And this is the sun. The sun is the planet associated with the metal gold, right? The spiritual gold, but physical gold as well. So this is a card of wealth. This is a card of success. This is a card of really being, really starting to shine, right? So I think that you're transitioning into a path, or a career, a job, a mode, a way of living, a way of life, an environment where you feel natural, you feel confident, you feel like this is your place. You feel like this is where I belong. This is my orbit, right? I feel like you are becoming the star of your own life, you know. And when we look at the Five of Swords in the past, this card to me is telling me that you haven't always felt that way. That perhaps you've been in relationships, situations, environments, homes, careers, jobs that just haven't felt right. And it kind of has I feel like it just hasn't been a very harmonious fit. Leaves you feeling kind of defeated, kind of pessimistic, a little bit lower in self-esteem, lower in confidence, because you weren't where you were meant to be. And that's the Five of Swords here. That we, you'll have to excuse my voice. We've been sick over here. Sometimes I think when I'm sick, I do the best readings. I don't know why that is. Anyway, the past has been that way. And I think it's maybe been a series of things that you've attempted that just haven't felt right. Haven't felt like home. Haven't felt like, hey, I'm good at this. I enjoy being here. I feel confident. You start a job or something, or you go to a new place, a new building, a new scenario, new activity, anything. As soon as you walk in the door, you kind of have a vibe of like, I feel good here. I've had jobs where as soon as you walk in, and there's a vibe, there's an aura, there's an energy in the room. I'm not going to fit in here. This isn't going to be a place where I can shine. Now, sometimes we stick it out anyway. Sometimes we can turn that around, right? But there's always going to be that vibe that this place isn't for me. It's kind of an intuitive, it's almost a gut feeling. More than an intuitive function, it feels like it's a gut function, where you just feel uneasy there. You just think, this is not going to be the place where I can really be me. And I think we've all felt that way at some point in our life, in some area of our life, whether it's work or home or school. I still feel that way at school when I take classes and so forth. I don't know why that is, something from when I was a kid, obviously. But moving forward with this sun energy, you're finding the place. You're transitioning into perhaps a state of mind, a state of being, where any place you go is going to have this confidence, this light, this radiance, this feeling like, I belong here, and I can do this. It's a feeling of being equal to the pressures that are around you, just like a star would be. And I think it is a slow process, right? Here's that death energy. For one, this is the transition from that Five of Swords into the sun energy, or perhaps it's with the sun energy. And maybe what we're transitioning to, maybe this major arcana energy, this function here, is what's bringing us from this 5 to this 2 to this ace. It's a slow transformation of simplicity, of certainty, of confidence, of truth, right? Of clarity. This is real self-esteem here, this Ace of Swords. So it could be that the Sun and the Death card are slowly heating things up, right? Slowly burning away all of the negativity, all of this heavy energy, and what we're left with is lightness and clarity and certainty. This is kind of like, this is not your enlightenment, it's your enlightening, right? Enlightening. It's a process. And it could be that this sun is really what is helping us to kind of ferment all of this energy, right? Just kind of heating something up slowly. And, eventually all of the unnecessary material kind of melts away, and what we're left with is pure spirit, pure mind, right? Clarity, certainty, the enlightening of things, right? So it's an alchemical process for sure. But I also like seeing the sun as an example of you and how you're carrying yourself, And I really feel like there's this idea here of you expressing that, of you reaching out with this energy of you immersing yourself in things. So this is kind of now a new confidence that you're finding. And I think every situation you go into, you're going to turn it to gold, right? And that, to me, is the secret of this 7 of Pentacles at the end, the failure, the darkness. Well, what happens if we put a sun right on top of that? Well, it's not darkness anymore, right? What is that? What is this? Whoops. What does this plant need? What does this crop need? Well, it needs sunlight. It looks like it has earth, it has water, right? It's got air right below it. It needs the air too. But it needs the sunlight, see? And I think that's why there's no fire in this spread either. Because the fire, you're the fire. The sun is the fire. This is the source of all light and life and love. The source of all fire. Right? And this, I think, is what you're carrying within you now. I think that we've come into this new power. And I think this is going to help to clear up a lot of things for you. Right now, let's move forward a little bit. I don't want to dwell too long on that sun card, though it's like my favorite energy right now. And I think it really is shedding its light on everything. Okay, I think that it's not just remaining here in the center in you, but it's radiating. Its rays are extending to every other card. Okay, it extends to this 5 of Swords. We can see how this was true in the past. Now we have this light being shed on this, and we understand what that was, why it was, how it was, and we have clarity about this. We have the 2 of Swords in the future. And this is clarity of choice, clarity of decision, your decision-making process. How do you pick which way to go when you're at a crossroads? If there's a fork in the road, which way do you go? Right? I don't know what's over there. I don't know what's over there. There's no rational way to choose, right? It's just kind of a guess. Flip a coin if you want. I think with the sun shining the light on this path, you actually can see, intuitively, spiritual vision kind of thing, you can see what the end of each path will be, so that you can choose based on that. Right? Not based on rational thinking, well, do the math on this path, do the math over here, etc. No, there's this clarity. It's almost a presentience. Clairvoyance. And I feel like it's illuminating the consequences of your choices so that you're able to choose better in the moment. Right? And that's one way that this sunlight is influencing everything and turning everything to gold. Right? If you knew what the end result of your choices were going to be, then you could make all the right choices to get to your goal, to your objectives. Right? Now, speaking of objectives, you have to have objectives. Here's then this is pretty cool. This is the Knight of Pentacles. This is some Capricorn energy. And Capricorn is your opposite sign. It's kind of your shadow self, right? Cancer and Capricorn, opposites on the wheel. Not on the Wheel of Fortune, on the astrological wheel, which is kind of the same thing, right? We'll get to that. So you have to have an objective. You have to have that spiritual vision. You have to know what it is that you want, so that you know what choices to make to get there, right? You've got to know how many 2 of Swords you need, and if it's left, left, A, B, select, start, whatever it is, to get to that objective, you have to know what the end game is. You have to know what you want, right? Now, to figure out what we want, let's take a cue from the fact that this is Capricorn. It's your opposite sign. So let's look opposite of this. We see this Princess of Cups. Well, this is the fish in the percolator. This is the anomaly. This is kind of like your wildest dream. This is the strangest, most out of this world, off the chain kind of plan that you could have, or desire, or objective, or will, or the thing that you most want in your life, but seems the most unattainable. Yeah. Now's the time for you to figure out what this is and go for it, right? You want to be an astronaut? Be an astronaut. It's never too late, right? Don't know that you ever actually will get into outer space. If you try hard enough, I think at any age you could figure out a way to do it. But that's not really the point, right? It's not the end game. It's not the end result that we're really lusting after. And that's the secret of the 7 of Pentacles, right? Because this card's saying, yeah, at the end of the day, at the end of your life, at the end of your days, you may never become an astronaut. That doesn't matter. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. The real reward, the real benefit of this is in the process, in the journey of discovering that you want to be an astronaut and doing all the work, putting in all the effort, having that purpose, right? Having that sense of confidence and will, that drive to do it. Maybe you'll fail. Who cares? Who cares? At least you live a life with purpose, right? And I think it's important because anybody can just say, well, I'm going to pick a purpose. Looking through your college catalog, you pick a major, that's what I'm going to do. Whether I'm any good at it at the end of my life, who cares? But I have a purpose now, right? Not quite the same thing. It's not quite the same thing. Unless they're picking that major that really does awaken this sense of being the deepest, the strongest yearning desire, right? That you've ever felt, right? It has to be something that is not just it's not just an intellectual choice, right? It's not just doing the math here, doing the math there, and say, I don't know. I'm just going to pick one randomly. We need this kind of clarity. And maybe you are looking for a direction to go at college or university or trade school or some kind of as an artisan or a craftsperson. It's having the commitment to a path, having a purpose, but not just on the plane of the swords, not just on the intellectual plane. It has to be it has to be a spiritual vision. It has to be a deep-seated longing. It has to really encapsulate the entire energy of your being, right? And that brings us over here to the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, this is different for everybody. We could look at this like it's an astrological wheel. Everybody's astrology is a little bit different, right? A little bit different. No one can be born at the exact same time in the exact same place, necessarily. Even twins, a couple seconds at least, a few minutes even, difference, right? We get very, very close, but it's never quite the same. And this, I think, is our own individual sense of destiny. And that encompasses everything. The astrological wheel, it's not just your sun sign. That's why I say you should watch your sun, watch your moon, watch your rising, watch your Venus, watch your Mercury. See what Saturn and Jupiter are doing, because we are all of the planets, we are all of the signs, we are all of the aspects, we are all of the elements in mixture, right? In mixture. So we can't just look at our astrological wheel or look at our horoscope or look at a tarot forecast and say, based on my sun sign, this is kind of what's going on. We can get a more complete picture of ourselves, of our life, of our destiny by taking everything into account. Right, by taking everything into account. So when we look at the sun card here, this is not just your sun in whatever sign, if it's your sun in Cancer, if you're watching for your solar placement. It is the totality of your being, every aspect, every element, every planet and sign. Okay? And then a lot of unknown stuff. There's always variables. So what we're trying to say with this Wheel of Fortune is that your your intuition moving forward, the choices that you're making, the ability for you to see what's coming next, right? It's exactly as it should be. You are right on track with how your life is supposed to unfold. And it really feels to me, especially when we take this as your general energy, that this sun energy, that the confidence that we're talking about is related to you feeling as if you were on your destined path. You still have to make the choices, right? You still have to put in the efforts. You still have to strive for the clarity and continue the work and do the work. You can easily make choices to throw you off of this wheel, right? Very, very easy to get off the wheel. That's why they say that, and our astrology, our birth chart is not determinism. It's not guaranteed that that's how you will be. But these are our potentials. And we can strengthen what is not strong. We can emphasize those things that are very strong, that we do have a propensity for. We can try to achieve balance, right, with the Wheel of Fortune here. But I feel like the sun here, these two, you really feel like you're on this path. And that's why I think everything that you touch is just turning to gold. Everything is just like, man, that was the right decision. And I think this is a big shift for you. I think it's gradually happening, right? Let's continue on. The sun now is going over to this 7 of Cups here. And the one thing that you're able to see with this kind of all-seeing clarity of this sun energy, this radiant light that you are, in your environment, you're seeing these things that are kind of a waste of your emotional energy. For one thing, this 7 of Cups represents all of the things that you've attempted to do or that you thought perhaps were for you, right? That we then see, it's not for us. This isn't where I want to be. And I think it's part of that 5 of Swords that we saw. And this is why we feel uncomfortable in certain situations, because it's an instinctual knowledge that this isn't the gold, right? This isn't where I need to be. This isn't part of my path. Okay? And that's not to say that every uncomfortable situation is not meant for you, that you should only seek out comfortable situations. That's not what I mean. And that's the subtlety of these cards. Okay? Because it is through being uncomfortable and challenging ourselves that we grow, right? That we come to learn about ourselves. So we have to be very careful. We have to use this clarity, this intuition, this higher understanding to see, is this a situation that on a spiritual, energetic level is not meant for me? Or is this an uncomfortable situation that I have to go through in order to grow and expand and transform and evolve, right? And the 7 of Cups represents both of those, okay? Because it's necessary for us to be in the swamp so that we can recognize the swamp, recognize that this is not a soup I want to eat, right? This is not a place that I want to be, or if it says I'm here already and I need to figure out how to get out of this or how to transform this soup from the inside out and make it something palatable. So we have to have our 7 of Cups. We have to be in these uncomfortable situations. This is a lot of experimentation, really. This is about trying different things to see what works. And you have to have that clarity to ask yourself, is this feeling, am I uncomfortable because it's something I need to push through? Am I growing? Am I evolving? Or do I feel uncomfortable on a different level that says this is not meant for you? Okay. So we have to be discerning, and I think for that we have to have, that's why we need the Swords energy. And you do have this intellect now that is illumined by this sun. It's illumined by your spiritual clarity, your spiritual insight, your higher knowing, your higher understanding. And there's that Ace of Swords. This is beautiful. This is your purpose. This is you discovering what this thing is that you really feel like is meant for you. It awakens all aspects of you. And perhaps it is through experimentation that we can simplify and get to the absolute clarity, certainty, truth, whatever, of what we are meant to do. What our divine mission is, right? And I think the further we go along, the more we do this work, we might further refine this sword, right? Further simplify. I don't think this is ever done. For some people, it seems like they know just very early in life what they're destined to do, right? And I use that word destined kind of lightly, okay? Because I don't want it to seem like it's that we're all kind of given a certain job before we're born, and that's what we've got to discover. You know, like our mom put a note in our backpack that, oh, I'm supposed to be a whatever, you know, tarot reader or something. I don't think our destiny is just one like job, you know, one task. I think again, it encompasses everything, right? Our thinking, our feeling, our creativity. The physical, mechanical portion of it is really just a kind of secondary thought. You know, it's this having a purpose that's important, and that's why at the end we've got the 7. We got failure, 7 of Pentacles. It doesn't really matter what the physical, mechanical expression of your purpose is, but that you have a purpose, one that incorporates all of you, all of your elements, all of your planets, all of your signs and aspects. You know, chances are it's going to be gold, especially since we have kind of the Midas touch right now, where we can be the sun that this mechanical world needs in order to get the machine moving, right? And get it pumping out the whatever, you know, the cardboard boxes. I used to work in a cardboard box factory. And there was machines that would do it, that fold the boxes, and didn't really have to do much. Anyway, the point is that it is your spiritual clarity that's activating the material world. You are the sun to this plant that it needs to grow and bear fruit, right? So in your case, yeah, you've got the Midas touch. Let's look at the mystery card. I didn't mean for this reading to go as long as it has, but let's see what Alien Simon Mork Ripley is up to today. If you would like to predict this mystery card with me, put your answer down in the comments section. Let's tap into spirit, into intuition, and let's figure out what we think this is. Well, see, I'm biased. I think it's going to be a sun again, because I kind of feel like the sun is the sun. I feel like we have the physical sun, right? But then we have the spiritual sun as well. So I kind of want the physical gold and the spiritual gold, you know? I want the confidence and the clarity here in the mechanical world, right? I want the warmth, I want the light and the heat and all this stuff. I want to get the solar power started, you know? But I also want that spiritual sun where you are, you're really getting clarity or an illumination of your destiny, of again, not just like that one job that you're meant to have, but who you are, what your entire astrological makeup is and what it means, and how it is a functioning dynamic astrology. It's not just a picture of energy, right? All of that stuff is moving. Then we get into transit astrology and horary and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I think sun card. Sun card. Look at that, beautiful. So yeah, everything that you touch is really turning to gold. I think that you are making choices one after the other that just lead to a deeper and deeper understanding of your spirit, but also lead to a greater and greater achievement and confidence and progress and success in your physical world. Okay, really nice, really, really good with these two. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, click on the link in the corner. That'll give you access to every extended reading, not just Cancer, but for all signs. All right. New Cancer readings Tuesdays and Saturdays. Okay. Cancer, I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I'm losing my voice. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.